What's going on, y'all? It's the boy Chief Baron, and we back with another yap session. Can't say at it because we really don't really be at it, but we really do be just off the top with the yap session. You know what I'm saying? Sound like a freestyle. Just let the thoughts flow, and I'm gonna just piggyback this one off the last one, which was about I guess these casuals thinking that these fighting games are hard once again. You know, we had that Avatar beta, and pretty much they did the same thing that they did with the Invincible versus beta, because the targeted audience was the people who watched the show, and 9 times out of 10 they ain't never played a fighting game, not never ever never ever. So when they come over to this side and they take a look at what the game has to offer, right? And Twitter/X, it's popular. When people want to see some stuff, they go up on Twitter, take a look at it. As far as the casual, I don't know if they know to go to Twitter for fighting game stuff like that. But if that's the case, that is pretty much where you're gonna find the majority of these combo videos or combo clips. And not to say that, your intermediate player can't do some of the stuff, but none of the beginners are doing that. I just want to let y'all know. For everybody, for the person who has the thought, oh wow, I'm about to queue up and get this happen to me or this happening to me. It's not like that, bro. It's not like that. And I know you see what's up on the screen with all the tabs. Just don't worry about that. I'll get to that when I get to that, and I'll explain it. It'll make sense. But just want to say that everybody starts somewhere, man. I know you see the crazy combos on Twitter, but don't worry about that. That is just what you can obtain. You can get there, with a little time, effort, and determination, bro. And you can really get over there and do something similar to that. You ain't gotta execute that completely, but if you can at least try and not just, doom from the first glimpse of it, you're like a fifth of the way there. You know what I mean? For the brand new people, I just want to say that, or everybody who's pretty much on my channel following me, just want to say that I am not a pro at all. Nothing nowhere near that, but I'm all right. I've played fighting games for a while. I've played fighting games since Street Fighter 2 Turbo. You know what I mean? Because Street Fighter 2 came out, I want to say in 1991, 92, and at that time I was like 2, 3 years old. So I would not be able to, sorry, I would not be able to either do any of that stuff. But when Turbo came out, I want to say that was probably like a year or two after Street Fighter 2 came out. So I was 5, 4 or 5, you know what I'm saying? So I was a little more caught nip, I guess. I could play these games because I remember back in the day I had a Sega and a Super Nintendo. So for the Super Nintendo, I had the Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's my origin. And even at 5, I was not able to do. Okay, I can't say that. I was able to do a Hadouken. It did take me a long time, but in those days, for me, I wasn't heavy in the arcade like that, but my moms did go to, the laundromats and shit, and they had the cabinets there, and I did have a Pizza Hut near my house when I was a kid, and that did have the Street Fighter 2 there, and I was when we did, go to the Pizza Hut, I was hopping up on that cab and playing that joint before I got it the Super Nintendo and that game. And that's where my fighting game journey started right there with Street Fighter 2. And then, I've played Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat and Guilty Gear, Marvel vs. Capcom and all that stuff. Marvel vs. Capcom was probably one of my first games that I actually put a lot of effort into trying to learn how to play that game. I'll say the first game that I actually start trying to learn how to do stuff would be not even like FGC stuff, just you know, in the arcades they had, the marquee on the side and that showed the special moves and stuff like that. And I looked at that as a kid, and somebody there told me one time that this is how you perform them on the joystick. So I just took that and I just held on to that. Figured out that, the quarter circle forward does the Hadoken. You know what I mean? Somebody one time at the arcade at the Pizza Hut showed me how to do the Hadoken. And I took that and just tried different things with the controller. And then I did the hurricane kick and I was like, oh, okay, you can do these things if you do that stuff. And that was way back when I was like 5, 6, 7 years old learning that shit. But all these combos and stuff like that, that was not even known to me. Just, your basic jump in the air, heavy kick, sweep. That's what I knew. Or throw the Hadoken. When they jump, do the heavy punch, the crouching heavy punch. I knew that type of game, but I didn't know those things were fundamentals back in the day. I just knew that I can do those things. I didn't know nothing about FGC shit, and that's what that stuff up there that you see. I didn't know about no FGC shit until I um heard that Tekken 7 was coming out. And I've skipped a lot of my fighting game history. I'm doing it so that I can make this session not so long and I can just get to the point of what I'm going up there because that there's probably going to take a little bit. So maybe one time I'll go through the whole history plus of what I just said. I'll add that in plus the rest of it because it's really just me being a casual. I'm still a casual, but I feel like I'm how would you put it? A casual that tries hard. You know what I'm saying? I do know how to do things. I do keep my eye to the FGC. I have been doing that for the past almost 10 years now, since I first found out about it when I was finding out about Tekken 7. And in my little clique, one of my homies, Omega Zeke, shout out to home, he was kind of nice. Not even, he was nice in our group with Tekken. And me and the rest of my peoples in that group used to try and beat home in Tekken. And that had been going on for a while, since like Tekken 5. Because in that little era, we were going heavy on the fighting games. We had like a variety of fighting games we were playing at the time. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was definitely a heavy one, but whatchamacallit, that game right there was definitely in the rotation. So, um, what I said, yeah, that game Tekken was in the rotation. So, from Tekken 5 and then Tekken 6 came out, we played that for a little bit. He was still beating our ass. Tekken Tag came out. I'll say that I didn't understand Tekken at all too much during those eras. Like I looked through the move list, so I had the moves down, but how to fundamentally play Tekken, I did not know. So when Tekken 7 came out, oh Tekken Tag, we played it, but having to utilize two characters was a lot. So I guess we didn't really delve deep into that. But I know that if I had the knowledge that I did now, then playing that game, I probably would have played that shit way heavier because I know that game is fucking crazy. But go a little forward. We got Tekken 7 coming out. I hear about it. I'm talking to my boy, talking pure shit. Like, yo, about to learn this shit. I mean, like, yo, and this game come out, I'm about to whip your ass, nigga. I'm really about to practice in this shit. And this was just, we practiced, but it wasn't like labbing and, going into the training room and practicing certain stuff that I'm gonna show you here later on in this video. But it was just, practice the moves. You know, okay, I do this. All right, I do that. All right, I like to do this. I like this move type of thing. So that's what I initially started with. My mindset was like, all right, I'm about to do that for Tekken 7. But I'm gonna keep my eye on Tekken 7. I'm gonna watch it at this point. So I'm watching as Tekken 7 is like rolling out, but like pre Tekken 7. So like I'm seeing videos from like I'm looking it up first of all. So this is what I'm explaining here. I wanted to get better to beat my boy in the latest Tekken coming out. All right, we were already a little competitive click, but as the game started coming out, we wasn't really fucking with the games too much like that. I think the last game that we actually messed with was probably Marvel 2 when it came out on Xbox 360 heavy. But then we took a little hiatus. And then Tekken 7 came out or was coming out. And we was doing the shit I just said. So then also at the same time, Marvel Infinite, which you see up there, was coming out. So as I was looking up stuff about Tekken 7, I actually started utilizing, the YouTubes. Looked up some Tekken 7 shit, and I started watching people like Eris and Rip, and they started introducing me to the FGC. You know what I'm saying? Like that part, the part that we fall in love with. And I was like, oh, so the stuff that I knew in my heart now has data behind it, I guess, if you want to say it has more numbers, has more meaning to it. It has a meaning to it. It wasn't just, all right, I'm getting the nigga out the air. It's like, all right, I'm anti-airing him. There's different moves to do this. I started learning about these concepts, the fundamentals of fighting games. Now, I had already had some of it in the field without knowing any of the knowledge like this, in this format, being, told to you. It was just played fighting games for most of my life, and this is what I've, learned off of that in various, times of my life up until this point. So as I started learning more about Tekken 7, I started learning more about Tekken, started learning more about other games. So at that time, and here's where I guess the meat of this video is gonna start. At that time, exit out of that. Right? At that time, this game was coming out as well. But this game came out, I wanna say, and I'm probably wrong because I can't remember, but this game came out, I want to say, before Tekken 7, or around the same time as Tekken 7. So I was playing both of them as I was learning more about the FGC. So this is me playing the fighting games, learning about the stuff that I'm telling you that you need to learn, the fundamentals of the game. So I'm starting to learn more about footsies, neutral, spacing. I'm learning a little more about anti-airs. I'm learning a little more about how you extend your combos. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a little more comfortable than I already was with being in the corner, because being in the corner with me wasn't too bad, but I still didn't like it. But as I started playing these games more, and pretty much you get put in the corner like 50% of the time. So you really gotta either learn to adapt to be in the corner or learn to get out of the corner. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, I learned that and started learning about those things during this time. And I just wanted to show you guys what that gameplay looked like. This was like probably the
Up in this
earliest
BKB. I don't know why.
footage I have of me playing a fighting game on the internet. Some of it, because I know I was surfing through my YouTube trying to find some footage. So I got a bunch of those clips up there on the tabs. I mean, with footage. So this is me, as you see, getting the feet wet in this Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really like Marvel 3.
Feel
I don't know
a lot
why.
of
But I feel like
disinterest.
if I had
So I'm gonna have to be
got into the FGC
all up in
side of
that.
things back then, I would have liked it more when Marvel 3 was coming out and stuff. I didn't like
This is
Marvel
fun.
3 because it didn't feel like Marvel 2 to me at the time. Mhm. Ghost Rider. And pardon all the stuff in the background. This is also me back in the day, my first times of streaming. This video is old. This video is like at least 10 years old. Hold on, let me see. See, 8 years old. Old as fuck. As you see, I'm over there with Team Maverick Hunters filming. Uh, 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 uh. We're not gonna watch the whole jam of this. We're just gonna watch one fight, one whole match each. Mother. See,
Get off me.
we were already, I felt like I was already okay in Marvel just by playing the Marvel 2
Alright,
so
alright.
much with my boys. So a lot of this stuff probably ain't nothing
Oh.
because, I'm 15th
Alright.
rank in this
Nice.
motherfucker. So, I wasn't no
Oh.
high rank anything in any of these games. I'm still
Ghost
casually
Rider.
playing, but I I understand some of the game. This is just purely me starting to apply
Ooh.
some of the FGC stuff to my game. Ooh, get up off me. Ooh, oh, this motherfucking stone was stupid. Power shot, ho. Ooh, zero. Back up, son. Ooh, I'm getting fricasseed. Ooh, zero. OTJ. Ah! Oh, no, that was horrible. Ooh, no. Okay, nice. Oh, see, we're not confirming everything. But we got that confirmed. We're dropping combos still heavy. And this is still like in the beginning of the game too. This is like the beginning of the game when the game first came out. You feel me?
Yeah, bro. Get out of here.
You feel me?
That weak sauce.
Hear me back in the day?
Can't
Still
no
talking.
lamps on that window.
You hear me? Just saying, man. Just saying. So that was the Marvel too. And I didn't play Marvel. I mean, that was the Marvel Infinite. My bad. I said the Marvel 2. But that was the Marvel 2 in me playing the Marvel Infinite. But you know, that was that. And that was the first match. So we're gonna go into this one. Or that was the first, I played some of the beta. Alright. I think I couldn't find any of the beta matches. But this is when the game came out and what I was playing. So I did get some reps playing beta. I've played a lot of betas, so I'm pretty much like low key a beta tester in this motherfucker when I be playing these games. But depending on how good the game actually turns out, is whether or not I stick with it. And a lot of these games I didn't fully stick with them. Just keep it a stack. But if this game was actually prettier and it had, more characters, better characters, I would have fucked with this. And if another game didn't come out. But yeah, let's just see. Let me scroll this back. I think that's 72. Sheesh. In my Captain Marvel function of Rogue, you have no idea how upset I was. Put Rogue on this motherfucker. This is me playing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I have a little more time on the game. At the same time, I'm still learning more of this shit. At this time in my life, though, I didn't have any kids. I have 2 daughters now. So at this time, I had no kids. You know what I'm saying? I had ample time to learn about this fighting game shit. I was just going to work, getting my bread, coming back home, bust ass. Oos. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I did go out, you know what I'm saying? Did my thug dizzle, but I was coming back home to the bus ass. Oh my god. Dormammu was fucking insane in this game. Oos. Uh-oh. Ooh, level 3 my shit on the landing. Oh shit, this soulstone bullshit. What's good, buddy? Fucking with Steve Rogers. I'm finna show you what real Steve Rogers do. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Don't mind my mom dukes in the background. My past mom dukes. But you feel what I'm saying? I had some reps. Started learning a little more, you know what I'm saying? Learn more about the game, I was in the practice mode, learning how to play, using the prior knowledge I have. Now, if you have no prior knowledge, that's where you go out and seek some. You're gonna have to. You could just hop on the arcade ladder and do your thug dizzle. Ain't nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But I feel like if you're brand new, you at least gotta look at the button configuration at least 3 times. 3 times. Feel what I'm saying? All right. Let me rephrase this whole shit. For the first week of the game, if you are brand new, you definitely should be learning one thing and having fun with the rest. You know what I'm saying? You do need to go through the button configuration to figure out what your buttons do. You also do need to at least take one trip through the tutorial and see what the game is talking about. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to do that initially, but within the first week, you need to have spun through that. Spun through those at least one time. I want to say at least 3 times to have looked at what the buttons do and looked at how you play the game before you just go online. You can play offline however long you want to, but if you want to go online and test your might, you know what I'm saying? As the MK niggas be saying, then you got to do that, bro. You got to. You can't just not do that. You can not do that if you don't want to go online. If you're talking about the fighting game got no offline content and I gotta go online, well then my guy, either don't fuck with that fighting game or you gotta learn how to play that fighting game. Straight up. Straight up. Man, we can't just be watering the fighting games down into straight water from the fighting game, bro. Then you guys are just gonna join in and play something that it's nowhere near resemblance to what we used to play. So you're not even playing the same fighting games that we fell in love with initially that created this shit. You guys are playing a completely different thing. And that's not fighting games, bro. That's not how we're supposed to be doing it. You can enjoy playing the offline content if the game got it, but we're not trying to take shit away. You still need to learn how to play if you truly want to play the game. And this dear right now, because when I was learning this stuff, there was barely any resources. You had to go through people, word of mouth. Now that you can go on a computer real quick, your phone real quick, look up some stuff, the the important shit, not even combos, my nigga. They're cool. You know what I'm saying? But they're not cool when you can't do them. It's not cool when they're getting done to you. You feel what I'm saying? And y'all know that. Y'all be feeling that when y'all be catching those combos and not doing them. Instead, you're talking about how much you can't do them. Don't worry about that. Why don't you learn how to get up off the ground? Huh? Why don't you learn how to move your character around? You know what I'm saying? How to move backwards and forwards. Why don't you learn how to stop the person from jumping in on you? You know, we call that anti-airing. You know, why don't you learn how to get out of the corner so that you aren't getting mauled down? You know what I'm saying? Those are things you need to really learn before trying to learn the hard ass combo that you think is going to happen to you every time you play the game. When, you're just going to fight somebody who's your same skill level. And if they're beating your ass, that means that they know maybe one thing over you, one thing, or maybe they have better pattern recognition than you because you're just not really playing it. You're playing for fun, and maybe they are too, but they can notice a pattern in you better than you and actually care to exploit that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just stating that these are things that can happen to you. And it can look like a steamroll because they know that this is all you do. All you know how to do is jump. They know how to do an anti-air, but it's really just down heavy. And they're just doing it every time you jump at them. It's going to look like what y'all call a TOD, not being able to interact, not being able to play. All you're able to do is jump. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I had to go on that tangent, bro, because seeing that stuff was crazy, man. Seeing that stuff was crazy online. Like, bro, we're not going to fuck up. And I know it's going to happen again when ToeCon comes out and it's open to everybody. But guess what? I'm on that front line talking about, nah, nigga, learn this shit. Every complaint that I've seen, ToeCon has there to show you. The only thing they're not showing you is pretty much how to play fighting games. And to really do that, you gotta look deep in yourself and ask yourself, do you want to learn how to play fighting games? Or do you just want to enjoy where you're at right now and just accept it for what it is? And there's nothing wrong with that. But don't go talking bullshit though when you ain't put no true effort into learning how to play the game. At least learn one of these fundamental concepts, bro. And I guarantee you, you learn one of these fundamental concepts: anti-air, wake up, blocking, moving, getting out the corner. You'll be straight. You'll be straight in the beginning to be able to get comfortable with learning how to play the fighting game. I'm telling you, those are the things that they really should put in a fighting game in the tutorial, how to play a fighting game. I've been thinking that for so long, and I was just like, I wonder why they don't do that. These motherfuckers think they want to get new players in and assume that they just know how to play a fighting game. No, they don't. They're brand new. You guys should be teaching them how to play a fighting game, the genre that you are in. If you're 2D, how to play a 2D fighting game. If you're 3D, how to play a 3D fighting game. Just saying. Had to go on another tangent, but yeah. That was my Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite gameplay, bro. But I'm gonna get to the Dragon Ball shit. This was my Blaze Blue joint. The BB tags. You feel me? Now, this was another beta I got in that I wound up playing the game. In this game, I had to go searching for but I found it. It's just gonna play one match. I was playing Gen Hyde because I played Blaze Blue when it first came out. Calamity Trigger, but then I just kind of fell off on Blaze Blue. I always liked Guilty Gear more, but you know, as the years have gone by, I've kind of Blaze Blue has kind of just equaled out with Guilty Gear. I like them both equally now, partly because of this game. Because I didn't play any of the other iterations of Blaze Blue besides CT. This was my shit. Using Jen doing that mix right there. Oh, get off me, yo. Ooh, vanilla. Eh, eh, eh. See, really didn't know how to play. This is like the beginning of the game again. Ooh, tried to just raw super me. Yeah, like that. Nope. See, I know a little bit about air dashing and stuff. I've spent some time in the lab. I do remember being in the beta in Blaze Blue. And at that time, I had been playing Tekken. So I was learning stuff, learning how to go into the lab, and learning how to practice. What to practice. You know what I'm saying? You go into the lab and learn stuff that you have ideas for, or learn stuff that is challenging you, or you know, stopping you from winning. They call it friction. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's beating you, you want to go into the lab, and that's what you lab. If you got a combo idea, that's what you go into the lab and you lab. You don't just go and you just do the combos all the time or being there for hours learning combos. No, you learn situations that you struggle with or ways to optimize your current gameplay, game plan. My guy was just mashing the DP. But because I have played the beta, I have a little more knowledge of the game, this game. That don't mean that I'm not still gonna get fucked up. Especially with broke ass Ruby. I said, oh, yeah, I didn't fully get that combo down until later on in the game lifespan. I also had to find this a stream because I don't have too many Blaze Blue Tag battle videos. It's mostly streams. I was doing a lot of streaming back in the day, learning the ropes. See, doing stuff like that. I didn't really know about how to do Okazemi yet, so I didn't have nothing to put for that. I was working on my, like everybody else, combos and, you know, defense, like how to block. Because blocking in these games is fucking crazy. You see the viewer shouting out. So that's the Blaze Blue jam. Let's see. So I want to say after that came this jam. You feel me? And in this short, I got two videos I want to show. But I'm going to show the two videos and then I'm going to cut the video right there. And I'm going to make a part two. Because we already like a half an hour in, bro. Half an hour. This fucking footage looks super grainy. Anywho, let's go. Had the little intro back in the day when I used to do little intro edits. See, that was a little footage of me playing Tekken. That's stuff I was learning. I was nowhere near doing shit like that before Tekken 7. So this game right here truly introduced me to the FGC type of stuff. How to lab, how to do pretty much all the stuff that I know how to do today. This game pretty much honed all that skill into one. But it definitely took the first half lifespan of this game to learn it. And I just want to show you guys. Because right here, I'm still at the same levels as I was playing Blaze BB Tag in the Marvel. And I'm showing you right now with the first. This is probably like the second or third game of the beta for Dragon Ball Fighters. Don't even know what I'm doing. Vanilla, pre-vanilla fighters. Uh, 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 uh. Bank. And for the beta, I decided to use the team that I'd be using in BT3, Budokai Tenkaichi 3. I was like, you know what? I use Kid Buu, Vegeta Super Saiyan from the Cell Saga, and Frieza Final Form. So I'm going to use them in this beta. Now, I did not use them throughout the lifespan of this game. In fact, I didn't really change my team throughout the whole lifespan of this game because I wanted to learn how to play this game in its fullest. I wanted to learn everything about the stuff that I know now. All the fundamentals, all that. This game is where I decided to actually try and learn how to play fighting games for real. Sorry. See, I'm throwing the game. Vegeta. Uh, yeah, I don't know. No combos. Look at me. Looking like a screwed it up. Don't know what I'm doing. Don't know what I'm doing. Getting Piccolo. They don't know what they doing either, but they do. Oh, they was whooping my ass. Ooh. The Beerus. Ooh, no 2H or nothing. But we scooping them though. Ooh, raw ass assists. This is before I knew how to utilize the assists too. Oof. I'm getting embarrassed. Mmm. The one-on-one, dog. Uh-oh. I don't know about sparking yet neither. But as you can see, my very first beta match, getting my ass whooped. But you know, I have some idea on how to play. You feel me? So we're gonna go. You know what? We'll end it right there. We're gonna end it right there. And that video right there is where we're gonna start. So I can show you guys. See what I say? Can't wait to fully hit the time chamber. Huh? Alright. With that being said, Chief Baron, and I catch y'all on the next one. Deuces.